Hello, hello, hello. Hey everyone, Sean Barker here from Online Custom Fit Coaching. Excited to share a new video training lesson with you today. And again, the topic is the truth about carbs and weight loss. Now this lesson today will help you eliminate the carb confusion that is out there with all the diets and help you gain clarity and confidence moving forward with your health and fitness goals so you can look and feel your best for summer. Now, before we get started, let me know if you're tuning in live right now. Just drop the word live in the comments below. And if you tune into the replay later, just drop later in the comments below. All right. So the key is if you want to lose weight and get fit, you've probably been taught that if you eat carbs, you gain weight. And if you cut carbs, you lose weight. So let's get to the real truth about carbs and weight loss, okay? To gain clarity around carbohydrates, you just have to look right at the name, carbohydrates, okay? Carbohydrates are simply a macronutrient, and they're either simple carbohydrates or complex carbohydrates. And of course, the simple carbs are just a simple chemical structure. They get digested quickly, they spike blood sugar quickly, and they're found in all the foods and drinks, from candies, syrups, soda, fruit juices, white rice, refined breads and cereals, stuff like that, right? And complex carbohydrates, they're a more complex molecule chain. They take longer to digest and break down. They usually contain more fiber, and they're found, in healthier, more nutrient-dense foods such as legumes, fruits, starchy vegetables such as carrots, sweet potatoes, squash, and 100% whole grain breads, rice, and pasta, okay? Now, ultimately, all carbs, simple and complex, are broken down into our bloodstream and broken down into glucose, providing energy for our cells, tissues, and organs. Now get this, our brain alone uses approximately 120 grams of glucose a day, which is about 420 calories of energy per day. However, as the name implies, carbohydrates are like little sponges that hold on to water in our body. So if you're watching your weight, remember this important fact. For every gram of carbohydrates you consume, your body holds on to 3 to 4 grams of water. And here's a little demo to help you remember this, okay? So I'll have a shot glass, but full of oats. Okay? So that's one of the carbohydrates, but there's 4 shot glasses ratio that follows that 1 gram of carbohydrates, okay? So just remember that the next time you look at the scale and you think you're not making progress. But this is actually a great thing for health and performance. But again, it can mess with your mind if you only obsess about your scale weight for fat loss progress. Because tracking your body weight is only one metric of many when you're tracking fat loss, and it's usually a lagging indicator. That means focus only on the long-term trend of your weight going down over time. That tells the true story. And of course, along with how your clothes fit and how you feel. Because you can lose weight on the scale in many ways. Some of it might not be fat loss. Water, food, muscle glycogen, which is just carbs stored in your muscle tissue, can come and go quickly and affect your weight. Muscle tissue and bone density can also be lost from your body over time, and that is not healthy weight loss. This type of weight loss happens from crash diets, too much cardio, and not enough protein or weight training. And it escalates as you age if you don't incorporate weight training and a moderate to high protein diet, okay? Because our body is 60% water, so it plays an important part in our biological processes, specifically for our muscles and our metabolism. Okay? So remember, whenever you step on the scale, your body is actually holding on to 5 to 10 pounds of water weight, depending upon your body size and composition. But wait, there's more. There's also food volume. A lot of people forget about this one. So in addition to water weight, we're constantly holding on to food waste in our body. And research shows, the average humans, we eat 3 to 5 pounds of food volume daily. So that's important when you're tracking your weight as well, and to weigh yourself under the same ideal conditions, preferably when you get up in the morning, after you go to the bathroom, before you eat or drink anything. Okay? Because literally after a good bathroom visit, you can be down a couple pounds. So just by the effects of food volume and water weight, we can carry around 5 to 10 pounds consistently of weight on the scale, but that's not body fat. So just remember that. And also things like stress, hormones, medication can also contribute to this holding on to water effect, okay? And even the food volume. Now, before we move on, I'm curious, have you ever experienced the whoosh effect? It's when you're trying to lose weight and despite your best efforts, the scale is just not budging, it's not going down. And then all of a sudden, you get on the scale one day and you're down 5 to 7 pounds, right? If you have experienced the whoosh effect, drop the word whoosh in the comments below, okay? Something I always remind my clients of. But that's a release of water and food volume. And lots of times it's also a release of stress. Just the stress alone of trying to make the scales go down can actually keep it up, okay? And it's almost like your body's taking a big, deep exhale and squeezing out a sponge. So the next time the scale is frustrating you and you're stressed about it, remember the whoosh effect, okay? But that is how all these low-carb diets, and detoxes, and cleanse trick you. And it's one of the main reasons why the low-carb diets and the keto diets became so popular. It's because they hook you in and excite you because you lose weight fast at first. Depending on your body size, you can lose 5 to 10 pounds in the first week, drastically restricting your carbohydrates. And the same weight loss trick applies to these detoxes and cleanses. All that really does is flush out your colon's contents and leave you with a lighter wallet, right? But when you eat fewer carbohydrates, you experience faster weight loss on the scale initially, but again, it's mostly water and muscle glycogen, okay? And when you eat fewer carbohydrates or fewer of any macronutrient, you're obviously eating less food and you're holding less food waste. So your body weight can go down. Now on the upside, the fewer carbohydrates you eat, specifically the starchier ones, the simple ones, usually means you start eating more protein and produce-based foods. And that is good. Protein and plants are nutrient dense. They fill us up. They're full of fiber, phytonutrients, vitamins, and minerals. Okay? And our body burns off about 30% of the protein we eat. That's why it's such an important macronutrient to have enough of in our diet. Nobody's getting overweight by eating too many protein and produce-based foods, okay? And it's also why people fall off the low-carb diet wagon eventually, and they fall off hard when they start eating carbs again. Their weight shoots back up, they feel bloated and puffy, and they're left frustrated and more carb confused. But all is not lost in your efforts to lose weight and feel great as long as you remember this. You gain and lose body weight within days, but you don't gain or lose body fat within days, or even a week for that matter. It takes many weeks of consistently being in a caloric deficit to lose body fat, just as it takes many weeks to be consistently in a caloric surplus to gain body fat. So don't panic when you have a treat meal. One salad doesn't make you skinny, just like one pizza doesn't make you fat. Thank goodness. Okay? And here is what the real culprits are. It's the carbs and fat-based foods. Because if eating carbs were the guilty villains of gaining fat, millions of the leanest people on the planet in terms of physique competitors, pro athletes, Asian cultures, who all eat rice, potatoes, oatmeal frequently, wouldn't be as lean as they are. When I competed for bodybuilding contests in my 20s, got down to a stage shred at 5% body fat, I ate oatmeal, rice, and potatoes almost daily. You'll see that in many of those diets as well. Now at 45, I maintain an athletic 12% body fat, and I still eat those foods frequently. So carbs are not evil. They are just extra energy, okay? The more active you are, the more lean muscle you have, the more carbohydrates you can eat. And it's sort of on a scale shift. When I'm working with clients and they're really overweight, sure, we'll reduce some of the simple carbs in their diet. And over time, as they lose weight, they get more insulin sensitive. And we bring the carbs back up, okay? That's a good deal. But let's be clear, I'm talking about the pure carb-based foods, right? The rice, potatoes, oatmeal, and fruit. Because most people blame carbs for fat gain when it's the combination of the carb and fat-based foods that mostly cause fat gain and the overconsumption of them. And here's why they're so easy to overconsume. That dynamic duo of carbs and fat-based foods are usually found in ultra-processed foods. Foods such as chocolate, cookies, cakes, chips, muffins, ice cream, hot dogs, burgers, fries, fried chicken, and pizza. All that good stuff. Probably making you hungry if you're watching this right about now, lunchtime, or whenever you're watching it. But let's be real. We all love to enjoy those foods. So I'm curious. Drop in the comments below, what is your favorite treat food? For me, treat snack, it is chips. I had to keep them out of the house, and I had to be mindful when I enjoy them. And as a treat meal, my favorite is pizza. And it's just, who can stop at one chip and one slice, right? So always be mindful when you do choose to enjoy your favorite treat foods. But people refer to these foods lots of times as high carb foods. I can't eat that, that's too many carbs. In many cases, these foods contain more fats than they do carbs. And think about this. Where in nature do you find foods that are high in carbohydrates and high in fats? Let me know if you find one. Because Mother Nature knows best. Animal proteins, plants, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, they will keep us full, healthy, and fit. But like protein, carbohydrates only contain 4 calories per gram, opposed to fats that contain a whopping 9 calories per gram. So even though many people are convinced that carbs make us fat, in many cases I see people who are struggling with their weight are eating too much carb and fat-based foods. And even if you track your macros, fats can really add up fast and sneak in. Fats from cooking oils, meats, dairy, avocados, nuts, and seeds can really add up fast. And it's all about these processed foods that are too tasty and too easy to overeat. Because there's billions of dollars spent on ultra-processed food manufacturing, taste testing, and marketing, because they know this combo of carbs and fats with a sprinkle of salt is that tasty trifecta that will tantalize your taste buds and make you want to eat more and go back and buy more. Because it really triggers the dopamine in your brain that satisfies cravings, but it doesn't fill you up. Are you ever really satisfied by having one chip? No, didn't think so, right? So it's these ultra-processed snack foods, high in carbs and fats, that we can grab on the go, a lot more easier and convenient, of course, than protein and produce-based foods that usually require more cooking, cutting, and chewing, right? So saying carbs make you fat is incorrect. Consuming too many calories makes us fat, and it usually comes in the form of these high carb and fat-based foods. So if you want to lose fat, you need to focus on your diet primarily. 70 to 80% of fat loss is diet. Control calories. Make sure you're in a caloric deficit if you're looking to lose weight, and get enough protein. The rest of those calories, the balance of carbs to fats, doesn't matter. And that can be tweaked due to your personal preference and your energy demands. So that is the truth about carbs and weight loss. But wait, there's more. Here is the truth about getting fit. There are no shortcuts or shakes that will do it. If you want to be a healthy and fit person, you have to adopt a lifestyle and an identity of what a healthy and fit person does. You have to stop labeling yourself as all or nothing based upon the past, and you have to realize that you can improve and you can change. You're not a machine. Have a growth mindset, not a fixed mindset. I had to probably reduce some of the junk food you're eating right now. You can't just always eat whatever you like. You just can't wing it. You'll probably end up eating wings. You'll have to do maybe a little bit of meal prep, even if it's once a week. You'll probably have to cook at home a little bit more and eat out a little bit less. If you eat out a lot, you are simply consuming way more calories than you think. Sometimes you'll have to say no to dessert or say no to alcohol. It does nothing positive for our health or your weight loss progress. And the weekends, another big mistake I see people making. Blowing your weekends is blowing 30% of your weekly results. So you probably need to stay a bit more mindful during the weekends and be more selective about having a treat meal. Because there's a difference between a treat meal, a treat day, and a treat weekend. And you'll need to probably track your food somehow, whether it's counting calories, whether it's counting macros, portions, or protein, whatever works. Because it's hard to manage what you don't measure. Think about, would you ever go months and months without looking at your bank account? So managing your fitness is the same as managing your finances, okay? There's numbers involved, there's emotions involved, there's healthy habits involved. And this goes the same for your exercise. Some days, you're not going to feel like doing it. Actually, to be truthful, I've been exercising consistently now for 30 years. Most days, you're not going to really feel like doing it. Okay? But most days will be average to okay. You do it because you know you're going to feel better when you get it done. Occasionally, you'll feel super energetic, super motivated, super strong. Those are the days to push it a little bit extra. And some days, even some weeks, will be a total dragging ass grind to get it done. That's when you need to focus on your why. And you need to focus on literally the next set, the next rep, or the very next step. And I continue to have those. A few weeks ago, I had at least a week of those type of workouts. So they come consistently, depending upon life stresses and demands, okay? So one of my old coaches once told me, put it on your calendar, every fifth workout is probably going to suck, okay? So it's the confidence and the consistency that is built by showing up and honoring the promises you make to yourself. Because the hard truth is fit bodies are built on daily discipline and routine, because that's all you can control, not the fickle feelings of motivation that you can't control. This over-reliance on having to feel a certain way to do something is what separates those who continue to struggle from those who continue to get fit and stay fit. So, don't want to take up too much of your time today. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you found this valuable. And if you want a custom program to give you the confidence and clarity you need, powered by accountability from an expert coach, so you can look and feel your best before summer, which is only 6 weeks away, by the way, send me a message and we'll chat about if my online custom fit coaching is the right fit for you. Thanks again for tuning in today. Whether you're tuning in live or later, I'd love to hear your biggest takeaway. Drop it in the comments below. Sean Barker signing off. Have yourself a great day.